everyone, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Entab CampusCare EdTalks. Today, this is a platform where educators and leaders express their viewpoints on burning topics related to education. Before I begin, let me quickly introduce Entab to you. We are a 20-year-old IT company engaged in providing ERP, CRM, and mobile apps to the top schools of India to help them transform from good schools to the best schools. Now you must be wondering why an IT company is hosting such events. We understand that there is a need for a common platform where educators shall express their viewpoints. Thus, we hold immense pleasure to host Campus Care EdTalks. A successful classroom management system will help prevent teacher burnout and reduce the need for yelling, scolding, and other stressful discipline methods that cause friction between the teacher and the student. This kind of environment enhances learning as well as social and emotional development. There are many reasons why children may become disruptive, including personal issues such as anxiety, depression, eating disorders, and other emotional problems, or learning the behavioral issues. To talk more about avenues and explore ideas about the same, we have with us today our extreme and experienced panelists. We have with us Sharat Kumar Singh Sir, Principal Litera Valley High School, Patna, who has more than 20 years of experience, who has more than 30 years of experience in teaching. He is a member of Syllabus Planning ISC 2006. Welcome, Sharat Sir. Sir, any words for our audience?
Uh, Namaste, and it's a privileged honor for me to be in the August gathering of so many learned intellectuals and educationists. Hoping that with my little bit of contribution and some pointers, learning in this pandemic times will be more smooth and more useful.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I hope for a fruitful discussion and welcome to Campus Care EdTalks. Next in
Thank
the
you. My
panel,
pleasure.
Next in the panel, we have Dr. Arun Prakash Sir, Principal, Laurels International School, Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, who has more than 30 years of experience in teaching. He has received the National Award for his outstanding performance and contribution in the field of education from the President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He is a PhD degree holder and he is the managing director of educational startup Sale Group, which is committed for empowering the minds. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be there with you and interact with the children and teacher and educator all over the country. And in difficult time, how to take our efforts further and how join hands to enhance each other. That's what we should do. And thank you for arranging a beautiful session.
Welcome, sir, to this platform. We would be glad to have your viewpoints on this event today. So, present with us next on the panel, we have respected Jyoti Sharma ma'am, Principal, Greenwood Public School, Gurugram, who has more than 22 years of proven ability to adopt new and innovative methods to make learning enjoyable and meaningful. She has received the Inspiring Educator Award in the year 2013 from Mrs. Kiran Bedi and National Teachers Prestige Award from Vidyarthi Vikas Manch Samiti, which was presented by Dr. Renuka Jain Gupta, IRS IT. With this, I would like to welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you. Namaskar to all of you and a very good afternoon. It is a proud privilege for me to be a part of this session today, and I'm sure it's going to be very, very fruitful for all of us. Thank you so
I am
much.
sure it will be fruitful for us as well. We are so glad to have you on our platform. So, welcome all the educators and welcome to our esteemed viewers today. And if you've not subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button, click the bell icon for regular updates and exciting episodes like these. Welcome to our viewers, welcome to the educators. So, to begin with, Arunsa, disruptive students interfere with the teacher's ability to teach effectively. What is a student's disruptive behavior? How does disruptive behavior affect the learning? Could you please shed some light?
So even for teachers, for children, for everyone, sudden change from face-to-face teaching, learning to digital mode was a very drastic change. No one was ready. Parents were telling don't touch the mobile, and now mobile is given for all the time. Now when mobile is there with the child will try to do lot of other things along with the teaching. Teacher want to teach, teacher's face is visible, sometimes communication is not there, and child is not getting. So in fact, communication which was very established, well established in the classroom is not actually available when we are doing online teaching with the children. So when suddenly network goes, sound is not coming, child personal phone is not working, he will ring, he will stop, madam, sound is not coming. Now madam is not used for this. So if madam will start checking their own system, what is wrong, where is wrong, whether it's coming or not. Now child has learned, he is not in mood, some other child will play prank. Madam, I am not able to listen. Your video is not coming. This person is disturbing, this person is doing. So when online communication came, in so many gaps are there. And then children start taking its benefit. But more than that, why this happened? And this is not only in this pandemic time of behavior. If you will see, classroom distractions were common in normal time also. We see, as an educator, we know some children, some teachers, classrooms are not very adjustable, not very systematic, lot of disruption, and some other teachers, this pin drop silence, complete things are happening. So it's a two-way communication. Maybe as an educator, we were not able to, or we are not able to do very good class because we are not prepared. Something is lacking. We are second thing we are not able to reach to the children. Some communication problem, technical issues are there. Thirdly, children are free to do whatever they want. There is no control. So then we say, madam is not there. Previously, we school, we will beat you. Teacher may not be beating, but here that will beat you, will scold you, will take you to principal, will do this. All these things are not there. You cannot come to me. Whatever I'm free, I can do that. So whole thing has created problem for initially it was too much. Slowly, it has settled down. But if after 6, 7 months also disruptive behavior are there, perhaps we have to look more for our own way of teaching rather than children creating problems. So this is what we want to discuss and take it further.
Thank you so much, Sasa. I cannot hear you.
No?
There you are. Sir, so thank you for explaining to us so nicely and in a simple manner what disruptive students actually are and how to deal with them. So, as an edu leader, Sharat sir, how can teachers deal with the disruptive behavior in the classroom?
Um, Though Mr. Prakash very rightly said that even after so many months, if there is some problem, then we need to look into ourselves how to give the best in a transformed manner. And I have always believed that teachers should be like a magician, and they should have so many tricks into their bags. So if one trick fails, you have another trick, and if that fails, well, still yet another one. So you have to really interact and be innovative. Like for example, Mr. Prakash also spoke of the fact that in this abnormal situation, uh, people were learning, parents were learning, students were learning, teachers in most places were learning how to make best use of the technology. And maybe there were a few teachers who touched the entire thing for the first time. And students played a trick with it. Students were confused. Which direction shall they follow? As principals, we said, you bring mobile phone, snatched, come to my office, pay a fine, and take it, or it will not be given to you. Now, principal is saying you should have good smartphone with proper internet connection. So they are confused lot. And teachers too have to pass on the same thing. So, very simple way of handling it. Teachers need to be very specific, with smile on the face, crack jokes. Like when I'm saying, Mr. Prakash. So you should address each and every one as individuals. And suppose if Entab Infotech, her name is not there. Suppose Entab Infotech, she is not paying attention. Can you tell me where did I stop? So even if she is not paying attention, she will from next time onwards, it will be corrected. And then if suppose Mrs. Sharma is being very attentive, can you explain this? I have a bad throat today. So when she starts explaining, definitely she will speak in the manner and language which kids understand, and at times crack some jokes because that will lighten the mood. They are holed up inside, say, 3 BHK, 2 BHK accommodation for so long. And it's a very normal situation for them. They used to move out, now they're inside. And when teachers say early in the morning, my school, the timing begins from 9 to 1:30, small kids for so many hours glued, apart from the hazards which we are facing, I mean, the eyesight and all other body parts getting impacted, mental state is not normal. So when teachers also say, I have to finish this tonight, in this period itself, don't ask questions. Children will ask questions because everyone cannot understand the same pace. And if I, as a teacher, do not go on to explain and cater to the needs, then you see that child would not participate. Maybe from tomorrow or day after, he will not be joining my class. But when I am teaching them with live examples, my subject is economics and it has to come into picture. And all the more when this pandemic is happening, prices of petrol going to 90. So you simply say, what's the petrol prices today? Is it 150? No, no, sir, no, sir, it's 90. Oh, I thought it's 150. So it's at times, let them have the privilege of correcting you. I will remain a teacher even if I crack. But let the child have the pleasure of saying, so this is the data today. So that perhaps will bring not kind of normalcy and more participatory approach and more contentive approach with more participation in the classroom.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you
Can
so
I add
much.
one more thing in it?
Yes, ma'am.
Basically, the teacher, in today's scenario has also changed a lot. They become more activity oriented
Correct,
already.
correct.
And using the virtual medium, the online medium, unlike in the face-to-face classroom scenario where the teachers were equipping and enhancing the skills of the children using the activity and project-based working, the teachers in online working are also doing the same thing. I can share the experience of our school. What we do is to, because disruption basically comes because of the biological factors also. There are certain physical factors which are also affecting the disruptive behavior of the children. They are inducing them into that kind of an activity. So to control that, we start our day, morning classes with an assembly, and we have a little bit of meditation and yoga or PT exercises also done. So this sort of channelizes the child's energy into a sort of constructive, channel where the child becomes concentrated, more focused, more meditated. And then when the classes start subsequently, then the children are able to, participate with full vigor. And obviously then the teachers using lot of activities, lot of AV means we are having as it is. So using certain things like for smaller classes and class wise, level wise, the teachers can have the props or the material ready which can be shown. So that also, because a lot of lecture method or a lot of talking, that creates disturbance. So basically that also helps out a teacher to avoid that and induce a constructive teaching learning process in the class.
So true, ma'am. So true. So, to all our viewers, our teachers are working so hard day and night to bring the best out of the students out there, even when the situation is like that. So, kudos to our Corona warriors today.
Definitely.
So, ma'am, with this spirit, there are many reasons why children become more disrupted, including personal issues such as anxiety, depression, as I mentioned before, eating disorders, and other emotional problems. They can even have some behavioral issues. So, according to you, Jyoti ma'am, what causes the students to be disruptive in their classrooms?
See, there are various factors which are affecting the children and their behavior in the classroom. You know, to start with the student factor, okay? So, there are certain problems which crop up, like impulsivity. You know, certain children, they get more impulsive. It's something which is coming from within, that I have to do this. It's like, they decide. It's a sort of peer impression also. They want to generate that also. So they decide, okay, today I'm going to do this in this ma'am's class or this particular subject class. And that becomes their, sort of factor which distinguishes them from the others. And that in a way is a disruptive behavior, but they do not realize this. They feel that this is something which is going to set them apart from the others, that see how confident I am, I can do this and I can do that also. So that is one factor which the children, and they don't realize that this is creating disturbance in the class, or this can create a sort of a problem for themselves also. But they do it because there's some kind of an impulsivity that forces them to do. Then there are certain personal skill deficiency factors also. In some children, it has been observed that the students, they lack certain skills which will help them to cope up with the classroom environment. Those personal skills deficiencies uh, create a lack of interest also. And because they already have this kind of a behavioral issue in them, I'm talking about those category of children who are creating disruptive behavior in the class. So they take this advantage, and they do not want to show also that they lack in the skill, and they do not want to show that they don't want to the others to know or identify their weaknesses. So they sort of distract, they distract the others from the learning. This in turn distracts the teacher and the other children also, which hampers the teaching process, the learning process. And the other children in the class are not able to do what they are supposed to do, or they were supposed to do in the classroom scenario. So this problem, self skill problem, lacking in that also uh, creates the problem from the student front, and they develop this kind of a disruptive behavior. If
So
we
true,
talk
ma'am.
about the teachers factors, there are certain times when the teacher, like very rightly spoken by our eminent other panelists, that sometimes the teacher, she has a hurry of completing the course, so she says that today I have to complete this. So that, again, the children take it, and then they decide themselves that, okay, today we are not going to let the teacher continue further, we are going, so they disturb. And if the teacher understands and takes it up very firmly and smoothly, and there are right norms set up for the class scenario, the class conduction scenario, then I think that disruptions can be controlled. But this is also one of the factor that affects and that induces the disruptive behavior in the classroom, and that is again the teacher concerned. And then there are certain times the teachers, they inaccurately do the expectations, So, like from a child who is supposed to come prepared, and the child, so today the teacher has spoken that, okay, I finished the class here, and tomorrow I'm going to be taking it up further, but I'm going to be asking questions, and you're expected to do this. So there are a set of things which are given by n number of teachers of different subjects. So this also, at times, the teachers have to see which subject teacher has given what all. So before assigning, so inappropriate expectation from the children also creates a problem, and that leads to a disruptive behavior of of some of the children in the classroom scenario. And going further, there are certain social or environmental factors which we have seen in the society. It is impacted by the society. The children, they are moving up, they are getting up, they befriend some children from outside or the families who are living. So, that those factors also affect the child's conduct in the classroom scenario. And then the factors include the family itself, the social circle that is there, the other responsibilities or the works that the child is supposed to carry forward. So those are certain areas where the factors affect the child and his behavior in the classroom scenario, which creates disturbances in the classroom, and it hampers the teaching learning smooth process, which otherwise would have been possible had the distractions been not there. Then, last but not the least, I would also talk about genetics. So heredity also has an impact. You know, so sometimes there are certain children get these things through genetics. Genetics can contribute to the aggression, or when the family has a strong history of mental illness or any other antisocial behavior or any other, which usually is not there, but this is an extreme case that I'm talking about, where the child may be subjected to some substance abuse, or there is a sort of mood disorder with the child, or there is an antisocial personality disorder in the child, that can also create a problem, and the child may create disturbances in the classroom or maybe outside.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for listing out the factors and also providing tentative solutions of what a disruptive student actually is and what problems they may face. So, as we were discussing about the problems, teachers are best known for correcting the problems in students. So, what are the measures that they are using currently or can use? What strategies can they use to solve this? Any tips for them, Arun sir?
Ma'am, before we go further, I want to tell one thing. Uh, Everyone goes to see the movie. Movie is much more offline, online, whatever you call it. Nowhere is there something saying, and everyone watch movie very silently without it. But if movie is not good, then they will start eating popcorn, they will start doing anything, this and that. You give some bad movie, religious, anti-religious things, some communal things, rights will start in the same thing. So one factor is very much important, that what are you presenting? Same child, if can watch 3 hours movie without disruption, he should pay some attention to the classroom teaching also. So very often teacher is teaching the same way as he was or she was teaching in the classroom before that. One school has invited me to see their classroom. I was just watching through. Teacher has shown one page of the book, and word by word teacher was reading and saying, "Sir, I am explaining." A class 9 child understands that much English that he can understand what word is given in the book. If that is the teaching and online, why someone will sit with the mobile when he can watch a movie or song parallelly along with, because he has muted himself. What he is watching, no one knows. So why child will not be going there, or why will not disturb and create a problem for the teacher? Teachers will run away angry and close the class so that teacher can do something. So no doubt, whatever madam said, all things are there. But we, and at the same time, same children may be behaving very beautifully in some other teacher's class. because teacher might be presenting more beautifully. So now when teacher is teaching, should understand that online teaching and the classroom teachings are different. Even in the offline teaching also, face-to-face teaching also, teachers, those who are well prepared, they have a better class control. So teacher has to be better controlled now. I personally feel this online teaching is 1,000 times better than of face-to-face teaching. In fact, when classes will start, I will prefer to use all these tools in the normal classroom also because there is a smart board available in the classroom. So if we start our class with the video, if we use Google in the classroom teaching itself, today morning I was taking a class of atomic structure and I was showing them how pentagonal bipyramidal structure is formed. Me drawing pentagonal bipyramidal in the board is very difficult task. But in the class itself, I went to the Google, took out the video and one photograph and showed them. Everyone was engrossed and everyone wanted to know, and then they will know more and more at their home. So this is what is required. Teacher has to change themselves in such a way that problems from children can be solved, and at the same time, if things are beyond limit, we should go to the higher authorities, to the parents, to everyone to control it. If things are not beyond limit, teachers should be capable to control by providing better things so that child will not be tempted. If child in the classroom is getting better than anyone else, talking to friends and listening very beautiful thing from the teacher, if that is better, child will pay attention. So that especially for very small children, no other motivation will work rather than the best class being taught by the teacher. Child will not understand. You will get a good marriage if you will study nicely. You will get a good job. How can you explain a class 3 child what is job, what is marriage, what is the future, what is it? Child will only see if madam comes with some balloons and want to crack the balloon with do something with. Madam has a very good painting. Madam is well dressed. Madam is singing. Madam is dancing. Some other child is given opportunity. That's one part. Lastly, before I take my tour, I just want to say one more thing. Madam has explained very beautifully. It's children do are attention seeking. Sitting in the home, no one is noticing. They want to get noticed. And when they will create problem, now a whole class will talk. Anurag has created problem. Priyanka has created problem. This has created problem. All good children who give very good answer will be forgotten. Those who have disrupted the class will be remembered. And I'll ask Jyoti ma'am and Sarat sir to name 20 children of their class. I'm 100% sure out of 20, 18 will be those who are the naughty children and creating problems. Because we remember them more. And as an educator, we remember either the topper, 1, 2, 3 position holders, or all disruptive behavior people. So it's a nature. It was happening in the normal classroom also. To have a very good classroom, we have to be very well prepared as per online requirement.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for telling what roles do our teachers play and what they can do in the future for the child's upliftment. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, so parents are largely responsible. As teachers are responsible, parents too are there. So they are responsible for the children's behavior. If parents meet their children's emotional needs from babyhood, Sharat sir, please shed some light on how parenting affects the child's behavior.
Sir, you're on mute. You have to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I remember when this question comes, a movie I watched way back. Sunil Dutt was the hero, and he had committed some crime. And the court saying, and the judge was asking, he was explaining the fact. Then in the end, he called his mother, and in front of everyone, he bit his mother's ear. And then he said, if my mother would have corrected when I was too young, when I stole maybe an eraser or a sharpener, perhaps I would not have been landing myself into this scenario. So this brings to the fact that mothers, parents, basically to precise, I won't pinpoint mother only, parents, father too equally responsible for doling in or keeping in, infusing in all kind of values. Since they are quite accessible and they have an impact. Everyone's parent, every child's parents, they are the first ideals. So everyone wants to be like that. So when you move out, then you idolize the teacher. Oh, my teacher dresses up so well, so I will dress well. So definitely, what Mr. Prakash said, that teachers have to be impressive uh, to impress the class. I gave the example of a magician. When you are well prepared, your best plan may fail. So you should have the second best plan, third best plan, and moreover, if this plan works this year, maybe next batch it may not work. So now at home, parents need to be quite understanding about the emotional needs of their kids, and they should not be acting on the impulse or be too obsessed with their kids. Nowadays this has picked up. If my son has said this is true, and then they come to the school and speak everything. So that one thing needs to be very, very well taken care of by the parents, that kids would be kids, they will commit mistakes, and they will try to hide things, and hide it and speak lies. It's again natural. So if parents want the upbringing and the proper development of the child, they should look into things objectively and correct it. Uh, I'm not advocating anything of the stern action at home, neither in school, but at the same time, very well planned corrective intervention by the parents is required. The best practice would be in the present scenario, that if the online class is happening, let the laptop or the desktop or mobile should be used in the living room. So the moment that child closes the room for saying that I need to concentrate and focus, so the chances of his wavering away from the things becomes very chances are pretty high. So when it's a living room and parents are there, someone can walk in. Chances are that monitoring is happening at the best. So kids would be interested, rather forced to some extent, in listening to the teachers. And if they listen to the teachers, and as Mr. Prakash and Mrs. Sharman rightly said, teachers are well prepared. And definitely, those 40-minute session will go down well with the kids, and teaching learning process would be at its best. Otherwise, uh, it's a routine effort. Teacher logs in, kids log in, they get sober, nice lunch in the evening, sorry, in the afternoon, dinner, and everything gets over. And the impact of this will be felt when the school reopens physically and we meet. So that's a disaster I'm looking forward to, because even the online exams are happening, and I'm pretty sure it's across the country. When I talk to my friends, it's a Google form. With my laptop, there are three, four more devices attached, and everything is being answers are same. So that's the
Not
biggest
not
fear.
only that, no, not only that, parents sitting beside and
Yeah,
helping
correct.
them in examination.
I was quite conservative to use the parents' involvement, but there are certain good parents as well. But majority of them have a silent acceptance or not to it. So in the end, what's going to happen, it is really tormenting, and particularly 10th and 12th board exams. I mean, keeping fingers crossed. I've compelled my students to come to school anyhow for pre-board, though it was a huge debate going on. So I said, let me have six students in a class or five in a class. We'll manage with all the teachers, all COVID protocols, no infection, but you come down. Let me be assured that what has gone in 9 months, 6 months, then at least 3 months time we have. we can try to correct it. So this is the biggest fear. Plus, we'll be having also the PTM. We'll call the parents and update them in this scenario. Of course, we cannot do for the entire school, but at least for the senior grades, we as parents should do it. Otherwise, parents would not listen to anything. They will put the blame. Sir, you were teaching, online class was happening, my kid was attending the class, and what sir said, the parents too were there, they would not accept it. Deep in the heart, they know very well it was their hand in gloves with their kids, but openly they will not accept it. Plus, school's performance would go down as well. So that's a concern. Parents should be more involved, more put into the role of a teacher at home, not mother father, teacher at home. It's not home tutor. You are a teacher, mentor, and guide. So I'm teacher in the school. Back home, you are the teacher. You have to dole in the exactly same responsibility. Then the result would come. Otherwise, situation looks pretty bleak.
Completely true, sir. Completely true. So, all the parents out there, I hope you've heard sir and sir's message and you do make it into practice. You do practice it. Thank you so much, sir. So, as we continue further, ma'am, cheating, lying, stealing, and violent behavior are some of the examples of disruptive behaviors. As an edu leader, Jyoti ma'am, can you please help us to know why today's gen is suffering from this type of behavior?
See, some of the factors I had already discussed, okay? And basically, today's generation. Obviously, we find a lot of difference. But uh, we are also responsible for that, I personally feel. We can modify their behavior, we can modify them. The responsibility is ours. As we talk in school, the child is in the center and it's a triangle. The child is there, the parent is there, and the teachers are there. So the three sides of the triangle are held by the three people. And there has to be a very, very strong coordination, understanding, and close coordinated working amongst the three. Only then the generation which is coming up, because in schools we are fortunate, very fortunate, that we are dealing with the children right from the age group that starts from 2.5 to 3 years of age and till 17, 18 years of age. We have the responsibility of molding these children. They come in the form of a clay to us and we mold them. It's our responsibility. But then it's not alone the school which is responsible. It's like the responsibility of all elders. So basically, the teachers, the parents both have to coordinatively work for the children. And if we are able to give them good values, which are very important, good skills, we are able to equip them in all the essential skills. We are going to give them good knowledge. I think the next generation should not suffer from this kind of a problem. Now, talking about the disruptive behavior in today's generation, again, in the earliest scenario where the school was happening and a face to face class was there, the children used to be there with us for 6.5 hours. So almost 1/4 of the whole day they were with us. 3/4 time they were there with the parents, right, in the family. And in today's scenario, it's 24 hours. They're there with their family, and we are there, but we are barging into their homes. So we, the teachers, are reaching their homes, their scenario where they have set up, and they are learning. So as sir had been saying that there are parents who sit aside and they are helping out. There are very, very cooperative and enthusiastic parents who support the children. But then the other side of the coin is also there, where some of the children are not contributing towards the essential requirements of the children, the emotional requirement of the children. Understanding their problems is very important. And what I personally feel is the connectedness is missing. So if the connection is missing, connectedness is missing, the parent has to take out time to be with the child, to talk to the child in 24 hours of a day. I think half an hour to 15 minutes, definitely every parent should spend with the children, talk to them, and understand what is going on in their mind. What are they feeling? How are they feeling? How did they spend their day? As simple as this. How were their online classes? What all did they study? What all did they learn? Was there any unusual thing that happened today with you, Vita? So these are kind of things, are very, very essential. And because we find in some of the cases, this thing is not prevalent. So this kind of a disruptive and violent and aggressive behavior is seen amongst some of the children. So if the connectivity is maintained by the school also, by the teachers, and by the parents, I think we can save the children from getting destructive. This is one thing. And why they are having it, I had talked about the missing areas, missing chords, that is connectivity, understanding their routine, how they are spending, what kind of classes are they attending. So it's not essential to sit with the child and only help out the child during assessments. It is very essential to see and supervise whether the child is actively attending the classes or not, or just keeping logging into the link and then putting the camera off on the pretext that the net connectivity is unstable. I cannot have to save my net for the subsequent classes. So they, on these pretexts, they are closing the cameras and then they are doing something else. Probably they're sleeping or watching something on, or doing something else. So this is the responsibility of parents, because they are the teachers right now at home. So the roles and responsibilities of teachers and parents have swiped. So they have to ensure, they have to support the teachers to keep a track of what their child is doing while sitting and attending the classes. So if they are there and they are supervising, I do not think the disturbances can be created by the children. So these are the few factors which I would like to add on with the previous ones where the problems were there from inside. But as rightly said by Sir, a very, very attractive, engrossed classroom where the teacher is able to glue the children to the concepts, to the class, to the topic using whatever way the teacher is explaining. So her manner of explaining also has a lot of impact on lessening the disruptions in the classroom, and which I'm sure all the teachers are working very hard, and they have really been able to. The earlier time was 6 hours or 8 hours or 6 or 7 hours of working for the school. Now it is 10 hours, maybe more than that the teachers are working. So the children should also understand, and the parents' responsibility is to make the children understand that whatever efforts the teachers are putting up, they have to support and complement those efforts, which are very, very important.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for putting your points and your thoughts forward in front of our audience. So, as we are in the COVID situation, technology is something which can never be avoided. Technology is playing a vital role in the education sector now. Arun sir, how does tech helps to improve the student behavior and prevent self harm?
Uh, Technology is giving lot of opportunities plus lot of problems. Children are growing very fast. Uncontrolled access of internet without supervision in the hand of children is a very dangerous situation. With social media available to them and lot of predators available online everywhere, children are very vulnerable these days and they are misguided. There are people who, with vested interest, luring children so slowly the children are not able to understand. So here, more than technology, parents and teachers should discuss what should be online etiquette behavior, cyber security with the children. So that's very, very, very important. On any issue, we know certain concepts, certain values, certain things that need age to understand. Some concepts, if you talk about the spirituality and spiritual concept, perhaps a child of 10 or 11 cannot comprehend the way it should be. But now everything is available. A child of class 4 can go and try to find out why Trump is not resigning and why is not accepting that Joe Biden has won. The class 3 and 4 child also will try to understand and will try to understand the franchise system and the election system in USA. Perhaps will be difficult to understand. That much availability things are there. So technology is available, but it should not be unsupervised. As far as told, it should be in the living room. Two protocols should be followed by the children, by the parents. Mobile should not be kept children in the night to sleep with. A child will get a call at 1:30 from by a friend who is not sleepy and want to talk, and no child will have that guts to stop. No, you don't call me. तुम बहुत पढ़ाकू हो, तुम हमारा फोन नहीं ले सकते, तुम इतने इंटीसेशन हो गए, हमारा फोन रिसीव नहीं करोगे. That peer pressure will, and then they will start talking, and whole night they will talk, and morning they will sleep in the classroom. So there is no need, and that's one. But before we go further now, are only children doing all these things? What about parents? How much time parents are glued with the phone? Today, can you find any person without being glued to the mobile? Before even pandemic starts, when I used to go to Delhi and the metro, I don't find a single person who is only when he's not in position to open the mobile, he's not with the mobile, otherwise he's only with the mobile. Now, if I remember, once I was traveling in the train, my wife asked, where did you reach? Train was stopping, window was open, in front of window I could have seen which station it is there. Instead of doing that, I went to mobile and the location where we are and saw from the internet and told that I'm in Agra. And then phone fell down, I looked outside, Agra bold, it was written outside. We have reached to that situation. So what example we are setting to our children? So as a parent, as an elder, if we are not setting a role for the children and assuming that my child will be something great, I'll just give one very simple thing. One parent was always telling his son, see, George Washington, when he was 13-year-old, he was doing this. When he becomes 15-year-old, he was doing this. 29-year-old, he was doing this. Child was fed up. Said, Papa, when he was in your age, he was president of America. So why all the expectations are there with the child only? No doubt, we give them a knife and we don't control how to use the knife. It's not child's fault. Suddenly, total open not only one knife, 10, 15 blades are in the knife and we have given the hand of child and nicely we are enjoying somewhere else. That is the greatest challenge. And there also teachers also have to come into picture. Very often parents are not able to understand. They understand my child is very innocent. He still does not know. He still don't understand this. We take children quite underestimate what I say. So technology is a very important tool provided it's properly utilized.
Yes, technology is surely a sword with two edges. It can be a boon and a bane at the same time. Sharat sir, would you want to add on to what sir said?
Completely agree, and no one can disagree. And if someone does at his or her own peril, um, the fact is, I'll just add few things to this experiment and explain what we did. Uh, Teachers, apart from teaching, should go ahead further from the syllabus. CBSE has curtailed syllabus like anything, 30-40%. Languages are nothing to be taught only. Other subjects, 30%. Kids are waiting for 50% cut in syllabus. That's not going to happen. 30% is a decent enough. So teachers cannot say they cannot complete. At least that time can be used to duel into their minds the skills which would help them emerge as professionals. Ultimately, the goal is to become professionals in any field. And those degrees of 99, 100% will not help you become a good IAS officer or a good teacher or a principal. Ultimately, even a 50% scorer can be a good IAS officer, a very effective and good principal as well. So life skill is more important, and that can be taught by school and educators. Parents perhaps may be not very equipped to go ahead to pass on those skills. Other because as Mr. Prakash very rightly said, when the father was telling George Washington and whatever they were this age, and the child equipped, he was president, and you are. So just imagine. So they may not be trained enough to handle it. Teachers have to be trained, and we as leaders or head of institution should really go ahead to empower our teachers how to handle syllabus completion along with giving the students more to handle life beyond school and colleges. Otherwise, whatever we are projecting, holistic education, well-rounded, all-rounded personality, it will just be a talk, and child would be just a bookworm. We might create IITians, engineers, doctors, etc., but not great human beings. So the focus of the school, in my limited opinion, shall be to create good human beings, and everything is in destiny over here. Child would achieve and get whatever he or she has. At least 10, 12, 13 years, he has to be somewhere, so in a school or college. And we have to do something, so teach them life skills along with syllabus. Syllabus less importance. Everything is on Google now. Knowledge has to be given. Information is available. The two distinction is very important. When my father or mother says, my son knows everything, he doesn't know. He can fix the mobile phone with the YouTube video he has seen. Minus all those, child would have no information, no knowledge. So let's understand, we as educationists should pass on focus on knowledge, not information. The sooner we understand and we start practicing, we will have good human beings, and perhaps life would be more beautiful everywhere.
Thank you so much, sir, for so positively telling us. And yes, we still do use Google Maps to search our ways out, and without it, we would be nothing. So, sir, I completely agree with your statement. With this, we come to the end of our webinar. But before closing, I would want my esteemed panelists to give a message to the audience, to the viewers out there. Jyoti ma'am, any message to our aspiring teachers, students, and parents out there?
Arun sir begins. Okay, fine. Ladies first. So,
No,
Mrs.
no, no,
Sharma.
no. Please.
Mrs. Sharma, you continue.
The aspiring students, they are actually in today's webinar, I think it has been already spoken so many times. Everyone has their own set of responsibilities, and if students, teachers, parents, everyone carry out their responsibilities very honestly and very dedicatedly, I think sky is the limit. Everyone can do and reach whatever they have decided for themselves. And rest, Sharad sir has spoken destiny. Definitely destiny is going to be there. Whatever has been destined has to happen, but we have to also put in our efforts in that direction, and concentrated hard-working efforts are very essential in today's scenario. And what I always talk to my children also whenever I address them, self-motivation, self-discipline is very, very essential for the students, for teachers. They are doing excellent work till now. And further on, what I want the teachers and parents to understand is to build a little strong connectivity with their children, which is very essential, to empathize their problems, not always come up with a scolding as a reaction to whatever the children say. So it's not that a child who's always creating disturbance in the class will always raise up the voice to create that. So sometimes a benefit of doubt has to be given. Maybe that day the child is speaking something nice, is asking something. So if we do that, we curb their anxiety. We curb their imaginations, and just build that strong bond with each other, which is very essential. If the children are to be, children will get automatically attracted to a teacher who is well prepared, who is able to understand them, who is able to carry forward things according, taking care of the children's understanding, liking, and requirements, and come prepared to the classroom, whatever way they are taking it up. And for the parents, it is very, very essential to keep a very, very nice observation on what your child is doing, what company the child is moving in, what kind of activities, what kind of new developments you have observed in the child, which is definitely going to help in identifying their problems. The root cause can be identified at the initial beginning so that the things can improve in a quicker manner. So, all the very best, and carry on doing the same ways, whatever you're doing. And the endeavors have to be wholeheartedly carried forward by all of them.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for concluding our event so positively. Sharat sir, what do you have to tell to our viewers?
Students, the most important stakeholders. Believe in yourself. Don't let anyone's opinion, maybe your principal or your parents or teachers, bug you down. If you believe you can do it, you will be doing it. Take the support of the teachers and the parents, and you will be wonderful. To teachers, times have changed. Those yellow pages need to be put into white pages, and those white pages need to be converted into the www, all those sites, information, well informed, and do not pass on information, pass on knowledge. Otherwise, information they have, and they will be knowing more than what I know. Knowledge they will not have. So that has to happen. To the parents, uh, maybe a very controversial statement, but I have to make it. Don't be like Duryodhan, Potramo, and Mahabharat would happen. Trust your kid to a limit, to an extent, objectify, understand, then react. Be, as Mrs. Sharma rightly said, observant. Be observant, be vigilant, trust. But when it comes to certain remarks, at least by the school, be guarded in your reactions, in your statements. Teachers and school will never be your enemy. Never be your enemy. Any type of school, anywhere in the world, they will not be. So give it a thought, then react. If all these three statements, all these three stakeholders, and to principals also, do not expect too much from teachers. Empower them from the students. Do not put them. In my school last year, we had 90 percenters. This time about 95. Well, forget it. I mean, every batch keeps on having their own set of performers. So principals should also, maybe they will be under pressure from the management. Agreed, point taken. You face it, but don't let that pressure go on to impact your teachers and students. Let them perform. Most importantly, empower teachers, empower students, and particularly what Mr. Prakash said about this cyber issues and all. Very pertinent. We have done it and we have got good results. And I deliberately say ignorant parents, they are not aware of how to and what to do. So we have to constantly guide them, follow this, and things would be wonderful. And we'll come out of COVID victoriously.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much,
much.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Arun, sir, any messages to the parents, teachers, educators out there?
Ma'am, there was never such an opportunity of growth as of now. With this communication available, we can reach to any level. Children may be studying in a remote village can become CEO of country 2,000 kilometers away. Whole world is now in their hand. They should know how to use it and we all should help. One thing I want to tell to the teachers should feel threatened. Their job is at stake because till now we were only providing knowledge. There are alternative sources of knowledge. Unless we start providing something else, we will be redundant. So teachers should have to change the role from a knowledge provider to a guide, to philosopher, a mentor and friend, and helping person who make the shape the personality, not providing some facts, figure, knowledge, academic solutions. And I'm sure this time is there for we all to learn and work that your company and all the people are doing certainly is going to help to make our whole education journey a better place. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
I would like to add one thing. I would like to congratulate Entab also. They're also doing a great job and putting the educationists together and bringing out the burning topics and having discussions done on that, and then helping out the audience with what is the best solution is a great job. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This is what NTAP does. It just gets the need of the hour, and we are on it working day and night. So I would hold immense pleasure to take that comment, and thank you so much, ma'am. And I would like to thank all our viewers also for watching the event. And if you've not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button, click the bell icon for regular updates and exciting episodes like these. Thank you so much, our eminent educators. Thank you for your point of view. I hope it is as positive as for everybody, for you as well, for us as well. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Thank you.